Hey coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip right here on the good old YouTube. This is the third part of my series on inside runs, attacking the A-gaps with your run game. This video and the other two on the trap and the gut grew out of the podcast that I did talking about the run game. It's season 2, episode 9. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. Where a good chunk of it we talk about inside run, but we talk about the overall run game, what you should carry, and why you should limit your blocking schemes to make it better for your offensive linemen. And we talked about the zone too in the podcast, but I didn't do a zone video because I've got one, or maybe more than, no, I know more than one, that I'm going to link up in the notes of all 3 of these videos, which will be their own separate playlist on inside runs, these 3 videos. And I'll also put the old zone videos in there. By the way, I mentioned this in the trap video, and I didn't mention it in the gut video. If you're a true zone scheme, inside zone person, don't watch that video. That's your trigger warning, okay? All right, so this one is on the lead ISO. We're going old school, y'all. Old school, 1970s, 80s, on into the 90s football, I formation, getting after some people's T-honeys with the old lead. Some people called it lead. Some people called it ISO. So I just put lead ISO on the title card. But I'm going to tell you something now. This is going to be a trip down memory lane. I should have went and found some video clips, but somebody probably would have dinged me on copyright infringements. They're really getting after people on that, man. All right, let's pay some bills. Having a system isn't just important, it's essential. You cannot have a good offense year in and year out. Now, you're going to have a good offense if you got good kids. Almost you run anything. But year in and year out, you're not going to be very effective if you don't have a system. That's where the gunpowder spread system comes in handy. I call it the gunpowder spread. You spread them and you shred them. And it is like a power spread offense. It's got 3 wide receivers, or you can just do it with 2. You can do it with a tight end and a wing. You can do it with a tight end and an H. You can do it with 3 wide receivers and a wing, 3 wide receivers and an H. It's all in there. And it's something for every group almost. I'm not going to say every group completely because that's never true, but it's only $100. Hit me up at siegel.chip@gmail.com and say, Coach, can I look at it? And I trust you. I'll let you look at it. And if you don't like it, I trust you to delete it from your device. And also, I trust the system that you're going to go, holy cats, man, there's all kind of good stuff in here. I don't run all this stuff, but I can get ideas from this thing. This is a great resource for me to use and have year in and year out. And Coach Chip's going to keep updating it every year. I've already updated it once, and I just released it this past winter, in the winter of 24-25. And I updated it in the spring of 25, and I'll update it again during the off-season 25-26 winter. I'll update it again. I've already got things drawn up to put into it, some passing game stuff and things like that. And every now and then I may just update it and add stuff that we haven't done, but it's good stuff. And I'll say, hey, this fits in with the system, maybe something you want to look at. And I keep track of who buys it. I've got a list of, it's like, there's a bunch of people. It's like 4 or 5 pages, and it's in columns of people who have bought it. And I'll just copy and paste their email addresses and I'll send it out to them, and you'll get it and you'll know about it if you keep following Football Talk with Coach Chip on YouTube and also on the social media. We'll talk about that later. The offensive line manual for gap down backer blocking, only $30, and you get an ebook and the paperback. You can get it from Bezos over at Amazon for $29.99. But if you feel sorry for me, you just hit me up at siegel.chip@gmail.com and pay me an extra penny. And I will send you the paperback as well. What you do, you hit me up and say, Coach, I'm interested. Can you send me the ebook? I'll send you the ebook for you to check it out, see if you like it or not. And if you like it, you pay me and send me your mailing address, and then I'll mail you a copy of the paperback. Then you will have, it's basically the same book. You'll see it's formatted different for obvious reasons because one is Google Slide, the other one's paperback. But the information's all the same. Great links that take you to videos, QR codes that actually show you what we're talking about in the manual, And you can see it being done. Most of them are my teams running the gap down backers blocking scheme, teams that I've coached. And you get the ebook, and you can present it because it's Google Slide, basically PowerPoint, to your players and to your coaches. So you do a presentation with it. Like if you're going to put in one of the drills, you put it up on the screen and say, all right, we're going to do this drill today. We're introducing this drill. So you meet, the kids see it, so they're not just taken, by surprise when you get out there and show them a new drill. And then you got the paperback for highlighting and writing in the margins, and you can mark that joker up. And it's only $30. You get the ebook and the paperback, and you get a trial run at the ebook. And again, I trust that if you don't want it, you'll delete it from your device and your computer. All right, please be sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribers get access to over 60 free resources. No strings attached. You just get them for free. No strings attached if you subscribe. The only bad thing that happens, which isn't bad, the only thing that happens is if you hit the bell, you'll get an alert every time I put new content out there. So right now, go ahead and click on the subscribe, click on the like, and if you want to, click on the bell. And when we're done, share it. Share it to all your coaching buddies and say, watch this crazy guy. Speaking of following things and doing stuff like that, head over to Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get podcasts when you're through watching this video and listen to, now we're up in the 60s, maybe close to in the 60s, I believe, episodes of Football Talk with Coach Chip, the podcast. It's a little different from most because we get everybody. I mean, I don't cull any. College coaches, youth league coaches, middle school, high school, every kind of coach, and we're just talking ball. And we get into some X's and O's, and we talk about, issues in football, things like that. It's really a cool deal. All right, before we get going old school with the lead ISO, let's hear a word from our title sponsors at Just Play Sports Solutions and their wonderful My Just Play app. Hey, coaches, let me tell you about our partners over at Just Play Sports Solutions. All the play diagrams on Football Talk with Coach Chip since the spring of 2021 have been done by the My Just Play app Just Play Sports Solutions created. You can find it at myjustplay.com. Team packages, individual packages, which is what I got. With the team package, you create your playbooks, you make scout cards, you can add video to the play so the diagram literally comes to life. The players get an app, they put it on their phone, so you don't have to print any more playbooks, any more game plans, any more scouting reports. And since players never go anywhere without their phones, their playbook is always with them. Contact my buddy Brad Rumsey at brumsey@justplayss.com, brumsey@justplayss.com, or call him by phone at 517-937-5433. Tell him Coach Chip sent you. All right, coaches, welcome back. Please head over there. You'll notice that all of these diagrams, even though it's an old school football play, they were drawn up with new school technology using Just Play Sports Solutions play design tool. It is cool as crap. It is cooler than a moose in December. And I love it. And go over and check out on the Guest Coach series my video, my visit with Coach Brad Rumsey. He's a rep with Just Play, but he's a former offensive line coach and OC at the D2 and D3 levels. Does a great job on the wide zone. And also you can see how easy it is to use the play drawing tool because he uses it in the video. So that's part of the Guest Coach series. Look for wide zone, Brad Rumsey, and check out how easy it is to use Just Play's tool. All right, let's talk lead ISO. Now, this was one of my favorite plays back in the day. Under center days, we're talking 80s, 90s. We did it in out of the wishbone. We did it out of split back, and we did it out of I. Most people associate lead ISO, I believe, with I, or maybe some kind of one back offense where you're folding the H up in there and doing the leading. Now, this was before Coach Chip ever heard of duo. And we didn't run power like most people did, like they got power. So we didn't have any kind of, a double team was a double team was a double team. We tell those cats, you double team this guy. We weren't coming off for love nor money. we got on a double team, we locked on. We'd get out there and we'd block each other in practice. And back then, it was full contact karate every cockeyed day but Thursday. And if you had a bad week, we may go on in shells and bang a little bit on Thursday back then. Kids weren't different back then. Coaches were different. And we've learned to do better now. This was basically how we blocked it. Again, I used to have VHS tapes of all this stuff in the 80s and 90s, but some things happened, and I won't call it wasn't necessarily a fire, but in my life, things happened, and I lost a lot of stuff, like a collection of helmets from places I'd been. Anyway, y'all get the message. And the lead ISO was just a bread and butter play for us. We ran something similar, wider, but this, if you gave us a split front, which a lot of people were running 2-2s back in those days on the inside, running the old stack 4, and it didn't change. We were going to double team both tackles. Now, I've got him coming off right here, but I'm telling y'all, we didn't do that. Because usually what we did was we didn't block this guy. And let me see, did I draw that up? Yeah, this is the way we ran it. Now today, if you run it this way. Okay, run it this way, because we know about combo double teams. You get a combo double team on the back side, so your center or your backside guard will come off on the wheel, depending where he fits. Probably going to be your center, because if he's any good, he's going to scrape over the top right here, and your center will come off and get him. And on the front side, just lock it. Just old school double team, because you're leading on the mic. Aim and point inside, just like on all my leads or wraps, inside number, because we're trying to hit that joker tight. As I like to say, tight, tighter, tightest. And it's right up. It's as quick as hitting as you can get and not give it to the fullback. The only thing that would hit quicker would be fullback trap or just straight fullback dive or wedge, when you just turn around and give it to the fullback. But this thing hit quick. The quarterback reversed out. Raise your hand if you miss being under center and reversing out. I see that hand, brother. God bless you. I see that hand too. Every head bowed, every eye closed. As we remember the lead ISO from I formation. Thank you. Now, so this is the way we blocked it back then. We did not block either defensive end. Because back then, people didn't really squeeze. The squeezing really became a thing in my neck of the woods with the advent of the Miami Hurricane 4-3, which really became big in the 90s. And when it trickled down, the Jimmy Johnson defense, and people really started running that, and you started getting the playing through the V of the neck and squeezing and wrong shouldering and all that cool stuff really came about late 80s, early 90s. But when I first started, all through the 80s and even into the 90s, the league I was in, a smaller league before I went to the bigger schools. When I got to the bigger schools, when I said, oh crap, what is this? Squeezing and wrong shouldering, this is cool. We didn't block those ends. And here's why, because we're watching this end, the backside end. And if he starts squeezing, or what we call back then, chasing the ball inside, you know what was coming, the boot. And the boot wasn't just always a run, it was a boot pass, because we knew when we blocked this cat down to go cut off that will linebacker, and he went in here, we're going to run boot. And, nowadays we run reads. That's one of the advantages of gun. So you're not a play behind. You're literally a play behind. Because they may, and if they squeeze on a big third and short and blow you up, you're a play behind. But this is the way football was run back in the day. And so you right here, and you could boot out. And that was your constraint, if you will, on that backside D end. And we never had an issue with the front side end if he was a 7 or not. Now, if he was a 7 and pretty good, that angle right there of the tight end would maybe flat. And he would just fight. And we told him, if you can't get across his face, just keep fighting and stay with him and don't worry about climbing. And so they just run him down inside. But we would try to release right here, dip and rip, and then climb. And a lot of times that'd be your touchdown block. He's the one getting on the free safety, this tight end right here. And if the end was pretty good, and he's responsible for the the C gap, then he would squeeze it. See, I said B gap because I'm so used to not having a tight end. God help me. Bless my heart. So squeeze right here. Don't let him cross your face. Right there. Double team right here. Lock it. Attack inside number of the backer. Trying to hit that thing right here. Tight, tighter, tightest. Get a double team right here. Old school now. We're not coming off. We're locked on that joker right there. We're trying to knock him back. And we're trying to get in here like a scoop up that wheel backer. And that was, I'm telling you, that was a good football play. And like I said, this before duo and combo double team. The combo double teams existed, but we just didn't run them, man. We were country, and that was the way we did it. Now, here we go versus an even front. And I didn't do this one versus a 3-3. What we would do when they would reduce, the main thing I wanted to show you this slide for is because if this guy's in a 3, if they reduce to the nub side, to the weak side, that can make life difficult and you'd lose your block on the wheel. So this was a cut. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, he was coming flat and hard trying to get his outside ear hole on that cat's inside knee and trying to get across. And he was scrambling. We're talking about, we used to call this buttholes and elbows. And that's all it was, buttholes and elbows down through there. And he's throwing that backside arm through this guy across. He's throwing the tackle is throwing his backside arm across the front of that 3 tech, trying to get his inside ear hole, his outside ear hole out here to this guy's inside knee. Get it inside the inside knee and cut him off. And a lot of times you just get a pile up right there and it hits quick. I told you it hits quick. It's not as quick as fullback trap, but it's a quick hitter because it's hitting right up the gut. And if you get him down or cut him a little bit, he ain't going to make that play. And that's how we did it. So the backside guard is scooping up right here trying to cut off the backside backer, the wheel right here. The center and the play side guard are now the doubling the nose. Remember, this is old school, no combo. You're trying to drive that joker back into these backers, and you're getting that right there. And now your tight ends involved double teaming the 4 right here with the play side tackle. And again, we're not blocking the end here because we just think he's too far away. And back then, those stand-up 9s, they didn't have inside. They did not have inside. We were wanting them to come inside. And then the backside, just like on the previous one, we're not blocking the backside end for the same reason. Somebody on our sideline, one of the coaches or somebody in the box is watching. A lot of times when I was young, that was me, watching this guy. And when he starts getting nosy and coming in here, or, the head coach or the play caller may say like, what number is that backside D end? 86, coach. Well, hell, he just made the tackle. All right, here we go. Lead ISO boot. You could set your watch by it. I mean that, cuz you could set your watch by it. So I hope you've enjoyed this trip down memory lane with me. And tell you what, you can go and see some stuff like this. Go on YouTube and find that old Nebraska stuff. I was binging Nebraska's early 80s with Turner Gill was the quarterback and Mike Rozier tailback. And I think it was Remington was when he was there, or was it Dean Steinkuhler? I can't remember. And then the mid-90s Nebraska teams, I was binging them too a week or two ago. And you can see some of this old school I formation stuff and just sit there and, it's kind of like when you're listening to great rock from the 70s and, listening to Van Halen and AC/DC. That's what this is kind of like, watching the old videos. It's good stuff, cuz. It's good stuff. All right, I told you another good inside run is the zone. And here you see how we do it. I'm not going to go into it right now with you. It'll be linked up. Previous videos about my version. I've already given you trigger warnings. If you're a true inside zone person, you stay as far away from those my inside zone videos as a possum does an axe handle. You don't want no part of it, because that's your trigger warning. Now you go over there, okay, and then you kick your dog after you watch it. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby, because I had nothing. I warned you. I told you that this is going to piss you off. All right, now, if you're trying to run zone at the sub-varsity level or maybe at a small high school and you really don't know anything about zone, go check out these videos on Zone. It's an easy way to do it. It's not true zone, but it's a good way to do it. We won a lot of football games doing it that way. So don't tell me it won't work for those of you inside zone guys. But like I always said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I found a little bit different way. And really, if you want to equate it to something, it's more, go back and look at some old 60s and 70s, just straight dive kind of rules, blocking scheme, and that's what it's more like. And so you can check that out if you want to. All right, opportunity to support Football Talk with Coach Chip. buymeacoffee.com/Coach Chip. A lot of guys will hit me up and get a ton of freebies and then say, Coach, this is so good. I appreciate it. That's fine. And as I said before, if nobody ever buys me a cup of coffee, which, by the way, I don't drink coffee. If nobody ever buys me a cup of coffee, I would still do it. It's just a friend of mine said, hey, you ought to try this. Just a way of kind of a gratuity, if you will. A gratuity even. A tip maybe. And if I had 0 subscribers, I'd still make these cockeyed videos. Why? Because I enjoy it. I don't care if my voice is going off into nothingness. And, in a million years from now, an alien hears it go, well, this guy's crazy. I don't care. I'm doing this for me. And if you benefit from it, great. And I do want to give back. I do. And so go to buymeacoffee.com if you're so inclined. That's up to you. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. I'll never know. All right. The free resource list that I mentioned earlier, available only to subscribers. That's the only string attached, but you pay nothing for it. You just say, hey, Coach, send me this, this, and this. Every now and then I get somebody who wants everything. It takes more than one email, but I don't mind doing it. It's as easy as just click, 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 and that's what. So if you subscribe to the channel and everything you see, you can pause it and read through it and say, oh, that looks good. And there's a few things asking me, I get guys, Coach, you have anything on this? Oh, yeah, I do. It's just not on the list, or it's something that's wasn't made for public consumption. I mean, it's not bad or anything. And I'll just find it and say, oh, this is an old thing here. Yeah. And I'll send you that. I'll attach it to an email. Over 40 years of experience and 40 years of mistakes. Lessons learned by Coach Chip is just an email away. So I'm available for in-person. If you're nearby, Google Meet clinics, consultations, installs, whatever it is you may need from me. If I can do it, I'll do it. I'll do anything I can to help you. So of course, you learn from your mistakes, but maybe learn from a mistake you haven't made yet that somebody else has made, like me or somebody I know, a lesson I learned from an older coach years ago. Say, hey, if you do it this way, this is what's going to happen. Well, here's your chance to learn from Coach Chip's many mistakes. Hit me up at siegel.chip@gmail.com and say, hey, Coach, I'd like to get together and talk about this. And I may hit you back and say, like if you hit me up and say, Coach, I want to talk about run and shoot. I'm going to say, you better get Tiger Ellison's book because Coach Chip don't know jack crap about that. But I'll be honest with you and tell you, but if it's something I can help you with, like gap down backer stuff and things like that, and there's a whole bunch of other things I can help you with, hit me up. It's free. All it costs is an email, and they're not charging us for that yet. And so remember all the things we have available to you, and be sure you go over and check out the Just Play Sports Solutions website and hit my buddy Brad Rumsey up. And this has been the third and final video of the playlist for Inside Run that go along with the Season 2, Episode 9 of the podcast talking about the run game. Now, I get more into the run game than just inside run, but the first part of it deals with A-gap runs. And that's why I said, I'm going to make videos because I've been wanting to do that anyway, and I've been wanting to make one about the lead ISO. I got to admit, I'm just, one more time. Look at it. As Darlene Darlin said on the old Andy Griffith show, ain't she pretty, Paul? Until next time, y'all, be elite.